I'm Danny Brown, and you're listening to Archivist, a storytelling podcast about technology, internet culture, media, and the feelings we still attach to them. Because sometimes the objects fade, but the feeling doesn't. Before games needed updates, before walkthroughs lived online, before YouTube could show you exactly what to do, there was the manual. A small booklet tucked inside the game case, sometimes black and white, sometimes beautifully illustrated, sometimes barely more than a few folded pages. And yet for many of us, it was the first part of the adventure, long before we pressed start. Because game manuals didn't just explain how to play, they invited us into another world. Sometimes you had the game before you could actually play it. Maybe your parents bought it early for Christmas. Maybe you rented it on the way home. Maybe you were reading the manual in the back seat of the car, counting every traffic light between the store and your house. You couldn't wait, so you read every page, every character description, every item, every tiny screenshot, every control diagram. Because you weren't just learning the game, you were imagining it. And imagination is real good at making things feel even bigger than reality. So by the time that tiny little screen finally appeared, you already felt like you belonged in that world. Some manuals were surprisingly ambitious. They didn't just tell you which button jumped, they told stories. They introduced kingdoms, heroes, villains, maps, and history. Sometimes they even included handwritten notes, fake documents, or little pieces of world building that never appeared in the game itself. Developers then understood something important. The experience didn't begin when the console or the computer was switched on. It began the moment you opened the box. Even the smell of fresh ink, the glossy pages, the artwork, it all became part of the memory. Today, most games launch with no manual at all. Need help? The game teaches you, or the internet does. It's practical and efficient, but with that efficiency, something disappeared. The joy of discovering a world before stepping into it. One thing I miss most about manuals is that they left room for imagination. Those tiny screenshots weren't enough to spoil anything. Instead, they teased, and they hinted, and the artwork often looked nothing like the graphics. But yet somehow that made the game feel even larger. Your mind filled in the gaps. The manual became a bridge between reality and possibility. Today we usually know everything before a game launches. We've watched trailers, gameplay videos, developer interviews, reviews, and sometimes we've even seen the ending before starting the game. The mysteries become optional, but back then, mystery was unavoidable, and maybe that's why those worlds felt so magical. Looking back, it's remarkable how much value lived inside a game box. The cartridge or disc, the manual, the artwork, the registration card you'd never send, maybe a fold-out map, maybe a poster if you were lucky. Opening a new game felt like opening a small treasure chest. Everything inside mattered. The packaging wasn't separate from the experience, it was the beginning of it. Today we download games in minutes. There's no box, no booklet, no pages to flip through while the installation bar slowly crawls across the screen. We've gained convenience, but we've lost ceremony, and ceremonies matter. They tell our brains, this moment is important. Remember it. And that's why I feel we miss instruction manuals today. Not because they explained the controls, but because they asked us to slow down, to wonder, to imagine, to spend a little time with a world before we entered it. Because the first adventure wasn't on the screen, it was in our hands. I'm Danny Brown, and this is Artifacts. Thanks for spending some time with Artifacts. If this episode reminded you of a memory, a feeling, or a piece of the internet you thought had disappeared, you can find more episodes wherever you get your podcasts. And if you'd like to help preserve the archive, visit the website for ways to support the show. Until next time, take care of the things that matter to you, even the small ones.
We all have routines. I'm Jabron, and with diabetes, mine was finger sticks. Sometimes I skip them because they hurt. The Freestyle Libre 3CGM changed that. It gives me glucose insights without finger sticks. Learn more at freestylelibre.us.
Finger sticks are required if your glucose alarms or readings do not match symptoms, or when you see check blood glucose symbol for the first 12 hours. The views expressed should not be used for medical diagnosis or treatment as a substitute for professional medical advice. Individual circumstances may vary. For prescription only. Safety info found at freestylelibre.us.